Are we going to see the rise of Heinrich Haarberg or the comeback of Jeff Sims? I think it's a valid question this week. When you go into this game, we kind of saw Haarberg, and everyone wants a little bit more of Haarberg. We didn't see Jeff Sims at all because of the injury. Will that lead him back? I mean, who will start? I mean, I think it's really debatable. Matt Rule has not said, and he's been pretty consistent with this, that it will be a game time decision on what he's going to do. But you just get the sense or feeling it probably will be Haarberg, but who knows?
Yeah, Matt Rule did say today, which is Thursday, he said late this morning, that Sims practiced well, but isn't 100%. I think he tipped his hand a little bit there, unless it's subterfuge. Maybe he said that to throw Louisiana Tech off. Oh, he's saying that Sims isn't moving that well. If you're that defensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech, you might say, oh, that means Sims is starting. I don't know. You can get into some mind games here.
I'd be curious just to be a fly on the wall at Louisiana Tech. Who would they rather
That's
see?
a good question. Because you should think of it that way.
Like, would they be like, I hope they start Sims because we think Haarberg's better? I mean, like,
or would it be the opposite?
Like, what would their thought be preparing? And the other question I have is, how different is Nebraska? I don't know if they're that much different. Now, this week they are going to be different because of the running back situation. But what will it look like? You know, the biggest difference is the turnovers. A Jeff Sims-led offense was 4 turnovers a game. Haarberg had the 1, and the defense helped him out and held him to a field goal to get him out of that tough hole.
You just said something really smart for a change. That you maybe would guide your decision on if you were a defensive coordinator, which guy would you rather face? Now, all things equal, but things aren't all equal because of Sims' injury. But if all things are equal, you got to put yourself in the shoes of a defensive coordinator. Sean, who would you rather face right now?
Sims.
I would too. Because of turnovers.
Well, I think the pressure that he's under, like, I think the rise of Haarberg has added more pressure.
Can we call it a rise after one game against a suspect?
The performance of Haarberg.
Yeah.
I think, though, the clean game he played puts a hell of a lot of pressure on Jeff Sims to answer that.
Oh, yeah.
Because before, there was no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
He had nobody on his heels. He could make a mistake and not really worry about it because the other quarterbacks probably weren't repped at a level to unseat him.
Sean, you know what, but you know what could happen? Maybe Sims welcomes that pressure. Maybe he's the type of guy that responds really well to it. You know, maybe it's possible that that's exactly what he needed.
Well, and the pressure that he was under here, come on, Georgia Tech.
No, he wasn't under.
There was no pressure at Georgia Tech.
Hold on. How much pressure was he under here? He
got
handed the starting job.
I'm saying to meet an expectation with all this NIL and advertisements. That's what I'm talking about. Like, he's got his own combo meal, a suit deal, a tractor deal, a big contract with the collective.
He wasn't being pushed.
And you go back to Georgia, he probably had none of that at Georgia Tech, at least to a high level. Otherwise, he'd still be there.
Okay, but he wasn't being pushed in practice on a daily basis that we know of.
No.
It was his job. Now it's not necessarily his job, and maybe, just maybe, that's how he'll respond really well to that. Like, maybe you'd almost see a new Jeff Sims.
Like a fire.
Yeah, because you didn't see fire. That was the intangible part that really, I guess, concerned me or sort of turned me off about Sims. I didn't see a lot of fire. Now, Satterfield, I think, would take me on that and say, "Oh, wait, you didn't see those runs against Minnesota where he lowered his shoulder into defenders? You didn't think that fired Satterfield up? That probably fired teammates up." But I just thought Haarberg's presence and overall command and these intangible qualities that we talk about that are so important at the quarterback position, command, presence, leadership, all of that, I thought looked better with Haarberg.
The lack of situational awareness, too. I mean, that's hard to look past because of the experience that Sims had.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, throwing those picks at Minnesota, because It's like that they could go to overtime and still win the game, and that pick cost them the game.
Well, going out of bounds at Colorado too. Going out of bounds at the end of the first half,
which allowed Colorado to get more points.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
That was big.
there's just situational plays, or even like trying to pick up a fumble and still make a play. Just jump on the ball.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, 100, Sean.
So that's and you can't say he's not experienced. He's got as many starts as any Power 5 quarterback in the conference right now.
Uh-huh.
It's not like he's some rookie that they just brought up. I mean,
so I would say we might be witnessing the rise of Heinrich Haarberg. I'd say if he can duplicate or put forth a performance that is on the level of Northern Illinois or exceeds it, then I think you can put the word rise in there. Or maybe we are witnessing the rise of something. I kind of lean towards Heinrich because he captured our imaginations, right? He captured our imaginations.
Now, and you know, Husker fans are always thinking about the next move. There's so many people asking, do you think we'll go in the portal again for another quarterback? And I go, it's just too early. You don't know. And I mean, there's even fans that want to know if Anthony Rizak could get offered. Well, they already have Daniel Kalen, and generally you don't take 2 high school scholarship quarterbacks. Right. So I think we're way too early to know the portal thing.
Yeah.
I don't expect them to take another high school quarterback because they're full. I mean, they have 25 commits already.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a time before they eliminated the rule of 25 that they'd be done. They couldn't even take portal players. So Matt Rule has basically let it be known they're going to add probably 30 plus players again to this roster next year.